Welcome to the Red and Green Report.
Orale, let's do this.
Yeah, we are back. Episode 16 of the Red and Green Report. I've been knocking them out just because I've been on hiatus for a long time. So, boom. Today's unofficial sponsor is Oni Noodles. It is a pop-up noodle shop. Usually they're at the Marble Breweries, but they are at Differential Brewery. That's where I had them. It was really good. Again, I had the shoya ramen. It was bomb. So if you're ever around and Oni Noodles is there, check them out. But today, I have someone I've been trying to get in here for a minute. DJ Just Incredible. What's up, man? How's it going?
Yo. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming. One of Albuquerque's greatest DJs. You perform or you DJ all over town. It's always a great time when you're there. We have a lot of fun. But yeah, man, how long have you been DJing for in the city?
Since 99.
1999?
Since 99. I've been in the I've been in the club scene for at least since 2001. I was like 17 years old.
Wow.
DJing in 21 and over bars.
Wow. How did that, how does that work out? Is it
I just had the connect.
Okay.
We just had the pull. And things were different at that time though.
Yeah.
They were a lot more lenient, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Like in order for me to DJ, I would have to in a bar I would have to have my liquor's license.
Uh-huh.
And so they were like on paper, I was like a waiter or something like that.
Yeah.
And so I had to get a liquor's license.
Okay.
And then in order for me to DJ, because, if I get caught, they'll be like, oh, yeah, he's a DJ. He's a waiter,
He's a waiter. Ah, okay.
So
I wonder if that still happens. I mean, I don't think it does.
I've never seen anybody underage DJing in the club now these days, like how we were back then.
Because I know there were even MCs, like, going into Burt's, going into different places that would, like, battle or rap or do a showcase. But they had to like stay on stage. They couldn't move from the stage.
Yeah, I had to stay in the DJ booth.
Oh, okay.
But that never happened. I was running
around. So how long? So 1999, you said.
Yeah,
that was your beginning. What got you into DJing?
Oh man, I think it's just the hip hop scene in general. Because I used to be a b-boy before I was a DJ.
Oh, okay.
So I ran with the little crew, and then I just wanted to try like all four elements, and like DJing was the one that caught on. What got my most attention?
Yeah.
Because you're in the club and like everybody's like wondering who the DJ is, and everybody's like, when the DJ drops a badass track, man, like you remember that DJ who dropped that track, So it's just like watching the DJs perform. And DJ, whether it's in the club or whether it's at a b-boy jam or whatever, like they're always cutting it up and turning it up.
Yeah.
And like I was just like, I want to be part of that.
That's
what
up.
I want to do. Even as a teenager, I always collected music from the jump. So I'm just like, I got the music. I just got to play it out now.
Yeah.
So
who put you on? Who was like a mentor of yours?
There was a few of them. Who really put me on from the jump was I first started learning from Omega's crew.
Okay.
From back in the day, I bought turntables, didn't really know what I was doing. And then
that's how it always works.
Yeah, just trying to figure it out. And then when I met Omega in his crew and his DJ crew, I started going to their house and their studios and stuff like that, learning from them. But what really got me started was DJ 3, Slice
DJ 3,
Steve.
Okay.
So I met him at the same time. Like I met him all that 2001.
2001, yeah.
About 2000, 2001. That's where I started meeting everybody, and then 3 was already in the club scene. He got me in the club scene too. And him and his homie Pat the Mac. So.
Well. Mic stand fell. Yeah. It was bound to happen. At least the mic didn't come off, though.
Yeah, so I used to go buy records at LA Underground.
Okay.
And then DJ 3 would be there, his homie Pat the Mac.
Okay.
Was there. Pat the Mac was the MC. DJ3 was the DJ at not Bird's Teak Lounge. What was it before? Brewster's.
Brewster's. Wow.
Before Library
Okay.
Bar. Yeah. So
that's crazy.
So I was buying up all the new records. I was buying up all the new stuff, and Pat the Mac was like, "Yo, man, what are you doing with all this? Are you DJ or what's going on?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." He's man, we could use some of this new stuff in the club. Why don't you come down to the club and spin? I'm like, bro, I'm 17 years old. It's like I can't get in the club, and they're like, "No, we got you. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
And so they put me in and put me on, and then it was a rough start at first, man, because I really didn't know what I was doing. And then, so, sometimes I would train wreck or just like clear a crowd, like, early stuff that you learn right away. And then DJ3 was like, you know what, I'm going to work with this kid. He's got potential. And then at the same time, I was chilling with Omega and his crew and, and learning studio stuff, learning how to DJ on CD players and stuff like that too.
Yeah. That's what's
So it was cool, man. So I kind of had like 2 mentors.
Okay.
But yeah, if I had vouched for one, 3.
Yeah, DJ3.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So Brewster's, what other places were you spinning at?
Sauce and Raw, it's
Sauce
like
and Raw.
posh right now.
Uh-huh.
Sauce and Raw.
My cousin's husband was part owner
Oh yeah.
of Sauce and Raw. Yeah. Way back in the day.
So it was those two. Yeah, it was
okay,
those two.
so Sauce and Raw, Brewster's. Okay. And were you doing like B-boy events or
yeah,
any
like
jams,
even
parties?
on the side, like I was still doing like b-boy shows,
Okay.
b-boy jams and stuff like that, because a lot of that was with Omega
Uh-huh.
and his crew, because they were doing a lot of early. His crew was putting on a lot of the early jams.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Even
Yeah.
teen dances, like that's where we all got started too, is teen dances. and stuff like
Okay, yeah, man.
that.
That's what's up, dude. For sure. But so like are you from Albuquerque? Were you born here?
I was actually born in Farmington.
Farmington, okay.
Yeah, I was born in Farmington, and at 3 months of age, my parents moved down here my dad got work down here
Okay.
in Albuquerque,
Mhm.
and so I was pretty much raised here all my life.
Where'd you go to elementary school?
This place called Arroyo del Oso. I grew up in the Heights.
Yeah.
So I'm a Heights boy, and then I went to Del Norte High School.
Okay. What middle school did you go to?
Cleveland
Cleveland.
Middle School.
Okay. Yeah. I was like, Cleveland, what the fuck is that? But nah, man, that's what's up. And then what year did you graduate?
2002.
2002. So, you were DJing in high school.
While I was in high school, yeah.
Yeah, while you were in high school.
So I had like stories to tell, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know what it was. I don't know how, like, my mom was all cool with it, being in the clubs for some reason, but, I'd come home, like, smelling like alcohol. Like,
Oh, no.
And the next day, like, I'd be at school, but, like, saying all these stories. Man, I met this 25-year-old girl, like,
Damn.
dancing.
What about your teachers? Did they know?
Teachers, no, I mean, they knew I was a DJ, but they didn't know that it was like that. They thought I was
Wow.
just doing, like, little teen dances. Which, I mean,
he's
it still
doing the
was.
party. Oh, yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm 17 years old
17.
in the club.
Yeah. Do you have
So-
a ill like story of like a party or a club and then you had to go to school the next day?
Nah, I just remember. Let's see. Nah, man, those times were just fun in general.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure, for sure.
because I would get off of school, do my homework and everything like that,
Yeah.
and get my sets ready for the bar.
Okay.
Go to the bar, do it up until like I couldn't really stay the whole night, but I was there till like at least 12:31,
Yeah.
and then and then drive back home and
Uh-huh.
get a couple of hours sleep and go to school.
Straight up party, man. That's what's up.
Yeah,
dude.
man. So I've been doing it that long, and it's been just staying consistent. It's just hard work and consistency.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So where are you DJing these days?
These days, Q Bar, Salt Yard, Effing Bar.
Yeah.
I still do radio, 93.3,
Damn.
top 40 station. I've been in radio since 2006.
And you were spinning up at Kiss FM too, right? At one point.
In 2006.
2006. Okay.
So I was Kiss FM, and then was there for 5 years. Then I went to Power 106.7,
Mm-hmm.
and then after that, 93.3.
Yeah. What's it like working up at the radio?
At
can
first I was
imagine
doing
it's-
it just to get exposure because I was still
Yeah.
young,
Uh-huh.
and I was still trying to get out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just like, all right, I need to get myself out there more. I need to get more gigs.
Yeah.
I was like, I did it just to get my name out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then people already kind of knew me already because I was still young and they already knew me from the club scene.
Yeah.
So like they knew that I was an active DJ before.
Uh-huh.
So that's why they trusted me to put me on as a mixer.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And
That's what's up.
Yeah, and three was already on the radio and he got me into the radio too.
Ah,
So
okay.
just following his footsteps.
Yeah, that's cool. Like it's crazy. It's not crazy. It's cool how all you guys kind of you have these bonds, and it's like, well, I work with him. Like,
the thing that trips me out that I always look back on with 3 is just like, you gotta remember, I was 17 years old and I'm hanging out with the dude that's like twice my age.
Yeah.
And he's just like nonstop practicing. Like I would go to his house and practice like for countless hours.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he would just show me like everything that he learned when he was young and how like he was straight up took the time and patience and put all this trust in this kid. You know what I mean? Like, because I was a kid, I was 17 years old, and you know, and he already had a name for himself. So we were like, even when I wasn't DJing, we were still like going into the bars and they would let me in like nothing, just because of him. You know?
Yeah. That's what's up, dude. Yeah, it's always cool. It's always cool to have someone you can look up to and somebody that kind of takes you under the wing and, you know, showing you the ropes.
It was perfect. I mean, it was perfect timing because I met him right when they started, right when I bought a pair of turntables.
Yeah.
You know, I was only practicing just for a little bit, but I knew I had to get the music, so I was always going to LA Underground because that was like the only spot that I knew at the time that was selling records.
Yeah.
And like somebody told me to go over there, and then I would just spend all my money and all my time over there, just digging for records and trying to listening to new stuff, listening to, you know, just throw a record on, see if it'll work. Some of this stuff I already knew what I was going to find.
See, I dabbled. I always loved writing and I always loved emceeing, but I tried graffiti. I tried, you know, the art aspect of it, and I wasn't any good. So breakdancing wasn't going to happen. B-boying wasn't going to happen. I'm not a good dancer. And then so when I was 21, I bought a DJ kit from Guitar Center. You remember?
It was like an all-in-one.
Yeah, it was like an all-in-one thing. But I was living in Germany at the time, so I had the catalog though. So I got the catalog, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna order this like all-in-one like DJ kit. And the turntables were really good. They weren't belt drive; they were direct drive. The mixer was pretty basic, but I didn't want anything fancy, you know.
Didn't in Germany they have that's where they have the 1210s, right?
Yeah.
For the techniques.
Yeah, but see, I wasn't even like up on that kind of game. You know what I mean? I was just like, I'm gonna order this.
Yeah, I started off with like some cheap like Newmark turntables.
Yeah, and I think that's what I had. They were Newmark, and I had records because I always bought records, and the homie Kems, Daniel, my buddy Daniel, he had records, so I'd kind of like take, you know, borrow some from him. So finally the turntables came in, and I tried. Like, dude, I really tried. It just, maybe I didn't try hard enough, and I think now that I'm older, I'd like to try again. But like just, you know, trying to find the right BPM, trying to match different records, beat juggle.
Yeah, before we had Serato and before we had the computer, we had a BPM everything.
Yeah.
Like with the kitchen timer. So we'll start so we get a kitchen timer, and then we'll start the record at the same time, and you just count every beat until it hits a minute.
Damn.
So you sit there going 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up until like a minute.
You're the first person I've ever heard give that technique. Like you use the kitchen timer.
Yeah, you start the kitchen timer and start the record at the same time on the first beat. And you just count every beat up until a minute. You know, you could cheat and do 30 seconds. And
30
double
seconds,
that up.
and then
But sometimes it's like you'll get a record that's like 105, so it's not like it.
Yeah, my homie Kems and then Phono, they're both DJs. I would look at their record collection and then like in like white crayon or like white colored pencil or a white marker. Sorry, they'd have like the BPM like in the corner, or I'd look at the label on the record, and it would be like written in pencil, or there would be like marks on the record, be like, all right, this is where I need to do this.
Yeah,
and I'm just
we were taking like labels.
Guys.
Yeah, we were taking labels and writing the BPMs on them. And like 3, man, that dude's a mastermind because he would do the BPM. He'd even count like the intro of the song, like if there's like an intro beat up into where the vocal started. Like it'll be that precise, like, you know what I mean?
Wow.
So taking those notes, and now you got computers that do it all for you.
Yeah.
But back in those times, taking the time, like every single record, man, you got like few greats right here. Imagine going to every single song, every single track, and then trying to figure out the BPM.
Try to figure out the BPM, yeah.
You know what I mean? Putting your sets together. It's time consuming, man.
And now it's like there are websites or there are websites that you can become a member of, right, as a DJ, and you just get all the songs.
Oh yeah, the record pools. Yeah,
record pools, yeah. And then who was I here talking? Somebody at Canvas. They were like, yeah, I just joined. They were like, it's cool. They send me new songs like every week, and they send me remixes and acapellas, and I was just like, fuck, dude.
Like those were dope because I was a part because I had those, but 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get like one good track out of You know, you'll get like 15 records from record pool, and 3 of them were gonna be good. The rest are gonna be garbage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll send you all these promos and stuff like that. Like and there'll be a couple of good tracks, and they'll send some promos of of potential records.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time they're garbage. But you're like, but that's why like digging for records. I've always dug for records. Even at first I was digging to play out.
Yeah.
It was for my sets, it's for my gigs. And then, once you started getting all your music, you started digging for yourself, songs that just for you. Just for you. There's like, because I'm into all types of different music. So.
For sure. We knew some DJs out in Germany, and one of them, real underground, like, loved everything New York, Duck Down.
Yeah.
KRS, just loved everything underground, fucking east, west, south, had the rarest records, and then he'd have to spin at a club, and he'd have to play, like, pump it up, like, fucking, okay, he'd play
that was
these.
like a lot of the DJs, though, man.
Yeah,
because a lot of the DJs, when I was young, like 17 years old, that's how it was. All these guys were like underground heads, but they had, need to make money. So
yeah, and he was saying, he was like, yeah, man, I'd rather be in a basement right now, like jamming out to some like
imagine
underground.
having to spend your own money buying something you really don't want to play.
Yeah,
it's like spending $10 to play, or it was like singles back then were like $5. I think.
Yeah.
So imagine paying $5 to play Cupid Shuffle. You don't want to play Cupid Shuffle.
You don't want to.
But you can spend $5 of your money. You know what I mean? Like you're like, damn.
Yeah.
I gotta buy this garbage, but it's gonna work.
Yeah, for sure. But I asked 3 and Omega like how they felt about the transition from vinyl to Serato. So how did you feel about that transition?
For me, I know their opinions. Talking to them. For me, I thought it was dope because I was in the club scene. I was tired of carrying crates.
Yeah.
And then and it was like that. I was doing records, CD players. I was using both of them. Because whatever I didn't have on vinyl, I had it on CD.
Yeah.
So I was doing both in the club. And to have that transition, going to the computer, digital. Like for me, I was like, it's dope because Serato, you could, you use the control record, so you're still doing the work.
Yeah.
All your music's just on a laptop now.
It's on a laptop, yeah.
But think about it, like now I can have access to all the music, to everything that I want to play. Like I don't have to go spend countless hours digging for a record or a CD
definitely.
And stuff like that. Just download it. I mean, that's the thing that kind of sucks is just like it takes you out of the record store.
Yeah.
But then again, you could download whatever you want, have everything on hand, and still go dig on your own time.
Now, you know what Omega was saying? He was like, yeah, now you have all these cats because they can download the music.
Yeah.
They want to be DJs, and they get the chance to do it. But also, like, I was thinking, as a DJ, you need to have a certain personality, and you need to have a certain work ethic.
I mean, you're still doing the work.
Yeah, you're still doing work. And I think a lot of these cats that want to be DJs, you see them, but I don't think they want to put in, like, they don't want to stay up till 2, 3 in the morning.
Practicing.
They don't want to practice. They don't want to go out and meet people. They don't,
Exactly. So, like, you go and network and all that. You're right. I mean, and it takes a certain, like, you really got to study everything. You got to study crowd control. You got to, you know what I mean? You got to, every song that you play, you got to make sure it's a banger.
Yeah.
Or if you clear a crowd, you got to know how to
bring them back.
Yeah. But the transition, man, like for sure, I thought it was dope because my needles, record wouldn't skip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could have any song I want. BPM, like that took a long time to do, and now everything's BPM for you.
Yeah.
But like Omega didn't like that.
Yeah.
So his thing, like he was so against Serato, man, and I get it. It's because everything that we learned, growing up, we would spend hours and hours going through thrift shops looking for records, and all that work, beeping the records, setting up, putting our sets together before we go out. All that was a lot of work, and all of that, and everything that we learned, everything that we were taught, because DJs taught us how to BPM records and where to go look for records and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And what works, what didn't work, and now all of that got taken away from a computer.
From a computer, yeah.
So I understand his point of view, because when I got it, he was so mad that I got it.
Was he?
He didn't even talk to me for a while, man. He was just like, bro, you're going to go that route? Seriously?
Oh, no.
Everything we learned,
you're
going to let a computer control it?
Oh.
And I'm like, bro, I'm in the clubs, man. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, this brings on a whole new set.
This is a time saver.
Yeah, this is a time saver. Like, I don't want to carry 4 crates of records to the club. But like, I understand his point of view. It's just like everything we learn, like digging for records. Now, like, we don't go to record stores anymore. We just sit there on a computer, download music. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what? I have a picture of Omega, and he's chilling on the couch, and he's on his computer. He's about to go DJ at Canvas.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm getting my set together."
Yeah.
So I took a picture.
He finally gave in, man.
I took a picture of him. Boop. Yeah, man.
He finally gave in, but then again, like, he also, once he got onto it, he loved it too. Because
he did.
Because he's like, man, now I could play this song. That was the thing for me too. I was like, there's songs that I was like, man, they were so hard to find, because a lot of records were limited, pressings and stuff like that. So they were hard to find, or a certain remix. They were hard to find, and now you have full access to it, and you sound like a whole different DJ.
Yeah.
Now that you have, the internet now.
I knew this cat in Germany, and I'm not going to say his name, but I knew this cat, and he had a vinyl press. He could press his own vinyl. So his whole thing was he was going to make custom vinyl for DJs with, like, remixes, whatever, so they wouldn't have to, like, dig for the record. They would just have it all on one record or 2 records. And they could just,
it's actually pretty dope.
Custom vinyl. So, like, he started this business, and he was going hard for a year. Like, cats were hitting him up from, like, London, Italy, like, yo. And he was doing this. He's like, damn, I found a good, like, business model. The next year, fucking Serato, dude.
Killed everything, man.
Killed everything.
That's
and
the
he
thing,
was
though,
just
man,
like,
because, like, before Serato, there was tons of records in the stores. Like, every music shop had a crate, records galore for sale. Now there's barely anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now because of the downloads now. So
for sure. And then, man, I get lucky with the records every once in a while in a record store, or I'll go on eBay.
Oh, yeah. Now you can, now you can do that. But as far as going out and digging for records, now it's slim pickings, man. Before, everything was out there. Everything.
Do you know DJ Moon? Shane?
Oh, yeah. I know DJ Moon.
That is the luckiest cat, because he, like, every once in a while on Facebook, he'll be like, look what I found at Goodwill. And it'll be like Project Blowed records.
I came up at, like, Savers one time.
Did you? See, same thing with him.
Savers, it was like somebody's, somebody that just dumped their collection, and I came up on, like old school funk stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn. I'm like, I'm not telling. I felt like doubles. I'm like, I'm not telling nobody.
Yeah. See, like, Shane, dude, like, how did you get this stuff? Like, it'll be like a MCs act like they don't know. KRS and DJ Premier with the cover, with the picture cover.
My actual biggest come up is my family and I took a trip to Hawaii for a vacation.
Wow.
And then there was a record store out there. Had this one room, and it was $1 everything.
Wow.
Like every single record was $1. And then the second room, it was where all their pricey stuff. Mm-hmm. But the $1 bins was actually all the newest releases, stuff that was on the radio. So I was like, damn, man, I found all this new stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I bought up like all these records. I spent like probably like $100. Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? And then he put them in. The guy put them in like a boxes for me and everything like that.
You
and I
shipped
was
them
like,
back?
shoot. I was like, how am I gonna get this
Oh,
back?
okay.
I was like, I gotta ship these back.
Yeah.
So I took the records to the hotel. We went to like a swap meet,
Yeah.
and I bought a suitcase at the swap meet.
Oh,
And I
nice.
put all the records in the suitcase
Okay.
and shipped it like that.
Oh, that's what's
But
up.
that was like my biggest come up is like this store had dollar bins, and I found everything that was on the radio. Like
Yeah.
it was like a big come up. And then the next room, like I said, it was more pricier, but they had like the rarest hip hop records. They had like like funk breaks and stuff like that, like
Damn.
rare stuff. And
That's
I'm like,
crazy.
I gotta get it now.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
and they had everything. You could tell like nobody was digging like over there in Hawaii. Like,
Yeah. That's
like this
crazy.
this store had everything, and I'm like, next time I come back,
They're just waiting for somebody like you.
yeah,
Just
to buy up everything. Yeah,
We got one. Yeah, I was in Amsterdam one time, and we went to Fat Beats, and they had
They
the
had a
best
Fat Beats
record.
in
They had a
Amsterdam?
Fat Beats in Amsterdam,
I didn't know that, man. I
and
thought it
they
was only in New
actually,
York.
if I remember correctly, they had a room, and you had to use a ladder to get up to it. That's how narrow it was. You had to like climb this ladder. But they had the best records. They had one record. It was video game breaks.
I have that record.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, so at the time it was like 40, 50 Deutschmarks, or sorry, euros
Yours?
in the store, and I was like, man, that's expensive. And then they had all these other records that I wanted to get, and I'm just like, I'm gonna wait. And then Fat Beat shut down. They closed the stores. So I like looking back at it, I thought, man, I should have just bought all the records I wanted, you know.
I know, man.
But
Back at that time, you think that it'd still either be there. Like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't think like, all right, I'm just gonna pass it up on and now it'll be there tomorrow.
yeah,
You know.
for sure.
No, you gotta do that. You gotta buy it.
Yep. Yeah, you gotta take that opportunity right then and there. But another DJ that I want to get in here is Clout, and it's funny because DJs are probably the most open, like, to talk on the podcast. So I want to get Clout in here. But when did you meet? When did you and Clout meet?
Probably 2004.
2004.
I met him at Bert's Tiki Lounge.
Bert's.
Yeah, I met him
Nice.
at LA Underground first, but I just said, introduced myself, and that was it. But when me and Three went to on a Bert's Wednesday, I think like
Nice.
him and Shakedown were DJing.
Okay.
And then when he was off the turntables, I finally got to talk to him. And then
Yeah.
me and Cloud just like clicked right away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean,
You-
like,
you
crack
could
your
tell.
joke. We like to crack jokes and drink beer,
Uh-huh.
man. There's nothing wrong with you know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You
Talk
can
about
tell
music.
that you guys
talk
have
about
been.
music. Yeah.
You could tell that you guys have been friends for a really long time.
Same thing with Omega. Like when I first met
Yeah.
him, in 2000, like we clicked right away too.
Yeah.
So
That's
I mean,
cool.
DJs click together, man. Like
Yeah.
you don't really see too many beefs between DJs. We just talk about music and just kick
Uh-huh.
back.
That's what's up, dude.
I'm pretty sure that's how it is with MCs too. So like,
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
I think everybody, I mean, there's a few like, I don't like that guy.
I mean, there's some, there's cockiness in everybody. There's cockiness in everybody.
Uh-huh.
But you gotta put that, when you're a homie, you're a homie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, man. But so you met when you met Omega around, you said 2000.
So it was like 2000, yeah. So I met him at a talent show, high school talent show.
Okay.
So his crew were performing at the talent show. My crew was performing at the talent show. We had so like I was like the DJ. My buddies were breakdancers.
Okay.
And so, and I only had like 3 records at the time.
Uh,
And they were all battle records.
yeah.
So on one side it was probably like the beat to scratch to.
Yeah.
But then they would break to it.
Okay.
And I would just kind of like, in front of all these kids.
Yeah, word up.
And then Omega was just bugging out. He was just like, oh, man, you got turntables? Because, I was like 16, 17 years old
Uh-huh.
with a set of turntables. Like, not a lot of kids that age
Not a lot
had
of kids had
turntables.
them, yeah.
But I had a job since I was 14, so I would stack up money.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, yeah, and I had a car too at the same time. I had
Yeah.
turntables in the car, like, so they were bugging out, like, oh, like when I set up my turntables, Omega and his crew were like, oh, damn, man, you got turntables? That's sick. Like, you're a DJ? Where do
Nice.
you DJ at?
Uh-huh.
And then, so after our performances, we just kicked back. and then talked about music, talked about what we're doing, like what I was doing, what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then some time passed, and my crew fell apart. My crew broke up. And so I went to like a teen dance, and I saw Omega and his crew there. And they're like, oh, man, where's your boys at? And I was like, oh, man, we all broke up.
Yeah. We broke up.
We all broke up, man. And he's like, why don't you just kick it with me and my crew? And I'm like, all right, cool. And I started kicking it with them ever since.
Nice.
And kicking it with him and his crew, it was different from what I'm used to because I grew up in the Heights. So, like, everybody, so him and his crew, you know, they all lived downtown Albuquerque.
Yeah.
So, like, I had to go to the hood and practice and learn from them, you know? And so it's like, that was a whole, like, kind of like a culture shock to me. Because, you know, when you go to their studios and you got to be there and you got to, you know, kind of like live how they live in. You know what I mean? Like, eat the food that they were making and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, man, Omega, like, knew all the spots back then, too. Where to eat and stuff like that.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Even back then, he knew like all the mom and pop spots and all that stuff like too. But it was dope, man. Going to like, you know, you just go, you know, go in the hood and these guys would have like full blown studios and like in a house, like a 2-bedroom house, like this, like big, like one room, like straight studio. And like we'd be there for hours learning. Like if we weren't learning on CD players, like he mentioned before, like you had to graduate to the turntables.
Yeah.
Because you know the dad that had the turntables was worried about us breaking the needles.
Yeah.
So we had to learn on CD players first, which was cool because like we're still learning to mix and we could be on every different type of equipment. You know what I mean? Because that actually benefited me in the long run because some of these clubs they didn't have turntables; they had CD players. So I'm like, oh, cool! I learned off of CD players.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't gonna stop me from DJing. You know?
That's cool.
So yeah, man, being with them and like bunch of at least 10 teenagers in house, just learning learning to DJ. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
And if we weren't learning how to mix or anything, man, we were organizing records. We would BPM records. We would go digging for records, organizing the CDs. So
hip hop 24/7.
Yeah.
Damn, I miss those days, man. I still feel like I live like that.
Yeah.
But you know, we got jobs and shit.
Yeah, and then I know, man. Then we all grow up and have kids.
Yeah, yeah.
But even with 3, man, like I'm like, dude, we countless hours practicing. We stay up till 3 in the morning. Like, we would DJ, but we would practice before the gig, DJ at the gig, DJ after the gig. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just spending like the whole weekend at his house, just like soaking everything in from a local legend, you know. And then Omega's the guy that ran the studio, Omega's crew, the man that ran the studio, he was also a legend too, like in Albuquerque. He's an OG.
Okay. And what was the name again?
Larry Somerville. Yeah.
Yeah,
Big Larry. So if you guys know Big Larry and Little Larry, you know those guys.
Yeah, I Omega used to talk about them all the time.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We'd go to their house and learn everything to soak everything up, man. Because he was it was cool, man. Because Big Larry, he's OG, he's an old school producer and DJ, and he passed the torch on to his son. And and all of us were his son's friends. And so you kind of like pass the torch, and we soak it up, man. We were there all the time, learning everything. So it was dope, man. So it was cool to have a guy taking all these kids and teaching them how to DJ and keeping us off the streets, and you know what I mean. Even though we still got in trouble.
Oh yeah, for sure. But imagine the trouble that
But it was a cool outlet, though, man. Because you know what I mean.
Imagine the trouble we would have gotten into if we didn't have those mentors.
Yeah, exactly, man.
I for sure would have gotten into a lot more trouble, man. But so you guys, like, as a collective, you were learning to DJ, and then well, I don't know. The fortunate and the unfortunate part of it is eventually you have to learn the business of things. So how long did it take for you to learn, like, the ins and outs of, okay, I'm going to book a gig, I'm going to negotiate my price? Like, what kind of effort goes into that?
Well, before, like, a lot of the times we were DJing for free, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we were kids. We didn't care. Like,
Yeah. And
for me, I didn't care because I was 17 years old in the 21 and over bar.
yeah. So the same thing with them seeing it was like, yo, do you want to do the show? Yeah. Okay. Do you want to open for so and so? Yeah. And we never asked. We want 100. We want $200.
Yeah. Back then,
we just did it.
Yeah. Back then, we just wanted to get put on.
Yeah. Exactly. But,
we wanted that. We wanted that exposure. Exactly like how you're saying too. But as far as I remember, like we were DJing so much, and we were still doing like graduation parties and weddings and stuff like that. But eventually, I would have to do a gig on my own.
Yeah.
And then and I was doing them for like dirt cheap. I was just like, all right, I need a new turntable. It's gonna cost me $300 or whatever at the time, And I was like, all right, $300, enough to pay for the turntable.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? And then you start talking to people, and you're like, well, how much do you charge, man? Like,
you get paid? No.
I'm like, shit. I'm charging dirt cheap. I need to step it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you negotiate with whoever, the club owner, the manager, whoever it is, they have stuff there for you. You don't have to bring your own equipment.
It's 50-50. Some venues have it there. Some I like to bring my own stuff anyways.
Okay.
For one, I'm comfortable on my own decks.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And then if anything were to happen, I'm paying for the damages, like for my stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have to give them money for their stuff.
Yeah. See, I kind of feel like if you were using their stuff and it breaks, be like, well, that's on you guys. Like, I
just try to avoid any type of drama.
For sure. Yeah. But that's cool. So during all this time when you're coming up as a collective DJing and y'all are working hard, and like you said, it's 3 or 4 in the morning. Like, where are you guys going to eat?
Oh man. All right. When I was with 3, we'd go to hit up at that time in the morning, we'd just go to any gas station.
Yeah.
We were just hitting up gas stations. I remember going to Big Larry's house. They always had like stir fry, instant mashed potatoes. And you know what I mean?
That's what's up. Yeah, man.
Like he bought this dude bought for the bulk because he had to feed all these kids that were learning,
That's funny.
And so it was like instant mashed potatoes, stir fry,
Were y'all going anywhere though? Like, did you have a favorite spot like here in the city to be like, yo, let's go there?
We really did. I mean, we were just kind of we were going to all subs. We were walking to all subs and stuff like that. Like, we'd go to all subs. I mean, we really didn't have a lot of money at that time too.
Yeah, for sure.
But I just remember me and Omega would always go to like Ho-Ho's. When Ho-Ho's when Ho-Ho's opened up, Omega was like, dude, you get this big ass plate for like $5.
Oh yeah.
And we would go get like 2-3 plates and bring them back to the studio.
Yeah. That's what's. Yeah, I can hear him.
You know what I mean?
So, hey man,
you gotta try
only
this.
$5. Yeah,
you gotta try this. You gotta try this. And I'm like, man, you're gonna get another plate? Yeah, for tonight. Like,
yeah, for tonight. Yeah, just put it in the fridge.
It's always like that.
Yeah, I remember, like he would call you up and be like, "I'm having a get together tonight in the next hour, and I'll see you there." And it's like, well, click, come over. We're gonna eat. Or like one time he was like, "Hey John, I bought the ingredients to make some Korean dish, dude.
Yeah,
I don't even know. I'll be over in a minute to cook it." And I'm like, "Well, click," and like he'd be at the door, like, "I got everything," and he'd fucking cook it. So
that
was awesome.
I'll be like, "Hey man, let's go to McDonald's." He's like, "Man, we have everything here that we need." Like he didn't like to go eat out and stuff like that.
I got McDonald's here.
Yeah, he always cooking up all these little like. He always cooked up all these little like small meals, but they always had like spam in them for some reason.
Yeah, and you actually gave a really beautiful eulogy, man. And you talked about how I'm always working, and so I brought home KFC one day.
Yeah.
And he was like, "What are you doing?"
No, he was always looking out for me, man.
Yeah,
because,
for sure.
Because all right, you got a family, so you got to like save all the money you can for your family. Like he didn't like us eating out because it costs money.
Yeah.
When we could just be, but like. Me, I'm like, I'm tired after work. I don't want to cook. But he would show me like these like big meals that you cook under like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then that was pretty cool, man.
And then you were like, most of them had spam in it.
Yeah, most of them had spam or bologna.
But
like
we were talking one day, and he was like, John, do you like spam? I said, nah, you know what, dude? I've never even really tried it, to be honest. He's like, bro. And one time they had a get-together at the house, and he made eggs and spam.
Eggs and potatoes.
And
Eggs,
potatoes.
spam, potatoes, yeah.
And he was like, John, like, try it.
What was that morning? Remember that one morning we went to his house?
Yeah.
And I think he was cooking that and like some sausages or something.
What were we doing? I forget.
I think we were just there.
Yeah, I think we were just hanging out, and he was like, come on over.
Yeah.
And he made, yeah.
Then we went and got like chorizo.
Yeah.
It was cool. But like he always saved money though. Like I remember I went shopping I took him shopping one time because I was the only one with the car. And I remember we bought socks at one place, underwear at another place. Because I was like, why don't you all get it at Walmart? You know, it has everything there for you. I took him to like 10 different spots, but it was like the price was like cut in half.
Yeah.
Than what you would spend at Walmart. You know what I mean?
That's so funny.
T-shirts at Mr. C's.
Uh-huh.
Socks at the flea market.
Yeah. We went to the flea market one time, and I remember in your eulogy you said he knew everybody. You know, you'd go to the restaurant. Hey, John.
Man, this guy like the most random spots.
Yeah.
I remember we went to it was like a Smith's on a Sleda, I think. Like somewhere down there by the Sled area. Like there's Smith's over there. And I mean, I walked in, and then like he knew like 3 employees that were like, hey, John, what's up, man?
Yeah.
And I was like, dang. And then we'll go and then we'd go to like this Asian restaurant, and like the waitress already knew what he wanted to eat.
Yeah, for sure.
And then they loved him over there, like he spent like his whole life over there, you know.
John.
Yeah.
We but at the flea market we went there, and we would walk by vendors. Same thing, dude. Like, John, do you want this today? No, I'm good.
Oh, yeah, I got
I'm good
these.
for the next couple of months. Like, I'll be back though. You know, like, oh, John, did you want? And he's like, oh, I'm looking for a hat. You know, because he was working for APS. He was like, I need a hat, you know, for when I'm out in the sun. And he bought one of those big brimmed hats. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or he'd just pick up like a random fan. Like it would be something so random, but it would be useful though. Like,
definitely, yeah.
We'd go pick up like I think he like found like a heater for his house. Like,
yeah, dude.
We'd have to carry that.
And we like at the flea market, he'd see something and he'd be like, John, this would be great for your apartment. You know what I mean? For when like this happens, like you should get this right now. This is a deal.
Dude, all you gotta do is clean it up, wipe it down, put some polish it up.
Yeah. You want to open it up and connect the wires, like, dude, I don't want to spend the time, you know what I mean?
But I tell you, man, we had some great times. Like I said, when we were younger in DJing, man, all these parties that we did, it was like a whole different scene than how it is now.
Yeah.
Way different scene. Like the B-boy scene was way like raw and rugged than how it is. Even the teen dances were like actual like nightclubs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we don't have that here now. Like we don't have nothing for the youths and for the teens. Like very, very little. I mean, we had dance and stuff like that. Like for us, you know what I mean? Like, or they had dances at the roller skating. You know.
Yeah.
And it's like we don't have that now.
I think the social aspect of young people coming together is limited because it just the social aspect has changed. A lot of it's like internet. You know, a lot of it's. Right. Everybody has a phone
because
now.
Even then, because like a lot of the teen dances now didn't last because of like the fighting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we threw teen dances where there was, you know, kids from different neighborhoods and from different gangs.
Yeah.
And then they still got, and you know, they still came in this place and still acted right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though there was cats from like rival gangs and stuff like that, they still like had a good time and whatever. And after the club, they said whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, I remember going to these teen dances. I'm like, oh shit, some shit's gonna go down. This guy is from this neighborhood. This guy's from this neighborhood.
Yeah,
I've seen them beef before, and they were actually like cool that night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what's up.
And it's not like now. Like now, these kids get into fights for like stupidest reasons.
The dumbest reasons.
Damn kids.
Jeez, man.
But yeah, man, back in the day, dude, like imagine like 17-year-old kids just DJing the clubs. That was our life. We were eat, breathe, sleep, DJing music.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got older, started having kids, and stopped talking to each other.
Yeah.
And it's cool, man, because sometimes I'll go to a store and I run into somebody from like back in the day, and like, oh man, he's still DJing. I remember back in the day when he used to do this party and this party. You know?
And well, you know, it's cool because I mean, you know, you have kids, but you still DJ.
Yeah, man.
You still have that.
I didn't
want to
like when I had my son. My son's the oldest. I was like, I don't want to give up music. I don't want to give up DJing. I was like, but you know what? I make good money because I was in my prime when I had my son. I was like, I just started radio, and like I was doing really good for myself. Yeah. And I was like, I don't want to give it up. I got this far. I didn't want to give it up. And so I was like, I'm gonna make some money, you know, off of DJing to feed my son now. Yeah. And so now I have my day job, and then I still manage to DJ and make money for my family.
And that's dope. You know what I mean? I don't have a family. I don't have any children, but you know, I still make beats. I still, you know, cats come over here to record. I still make music. I still, you know, make projects. Yeah. And I know a lot of people who have, you know, they have families now and they have jobs and they once did music, but they don't do it anymore.
I know, man. I've seen some guys like were so talented and they had to give it up.
Yeah. You know, which is fine, but like they hit me up every once in a while, and they're like, "How do you do it, dude?" Yeah.
Me, I'm like, bro, I'm like, where are those records you used to DJ with, man?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But it was never easy for me too, growing up, because like you got to think there was so many DJs at the time. Yeah. I really truly had to like prove myself. I had to enter battles. Yeah, and then I'd win some, I would lose some, but still, like, you know, a lot of people respected me because like I would enter these battles, you know, Bert's DJ battles, anywhere, like Sunshine DJ battles. And I didn't care what my DJ skill was. I stepped up and showed and proven. Yeah. I surprised myself once in a while because I would win some, you know, take first place. And then I was like, oh, damn, I did better than I thought I was going to do. I thought I was going to bomb. Yeah. But I would enter every single one, and people were like, yeah, this cat's got skills. Because I used to get hated on for even being on the radio, but I'm like, I'd go and take people out in a battle and then go do the radio just to be like, I could be a DJ and be on the radio too.
I'm an all-around individual. Like, I'm an all-around DJ.
Yeah, man, because like for those who really know me, like knew that I DJed b-boy events, then got into radio later, DJing underground hip-hop shows with, you know, Clout and Shakedown and being on their nights and stuff like that.
That's what's up.
And I'm like, don't let the radio fool you. And it was just an outlet for me to get to promote myself. You know?
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, you know, I came up, you know, doing the MC battles and, you know, battling on the street or in high school, and a lot of people would tell me like, "Oh, John, like becoming a rapper, like you have a slim chance of like blowing up." But I'm like, it's not about blowing up. It's about like I love doing this. I have a great time doing this.
Yeah, my dad was just like, you need to get a real job. You can't be a DJ. Like, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make it as a DJ. And so that's what, you know, drove me to work harder.
That's
and you know, eat, breathe, sleep, DJing. And you know what I mean? And then I proved myself. And now he's just like, yeah, that's my son. He's
yeah.
Now he's calling me up to DJ his friends' parties and stuff like that too.
Yeah, my first couple of videos, I don't think my parents didn't see them right away, and I didn't show them. But I had other family members who'd be like, "Hey," you know, they'd call up my parents, like, "Hey, Tita, hey, Tom, did you see John's new video?" And they're like, "What?" And they watched it. John, oh my God, like I saw the new video. You know, it looks great. And you know, we'd go out. Oh, John, did you see John's video? Like, it's really good. You know, the song's really good.
I remember I came home one time from the club and my mom was pissed. She's you're in trouble. And I'm like, what? What did I do? My friend Lucy said that you were drinking in the bar when you were DJing. Ooh. You're not supposed to be drinking. You're not 17 years old.
Did your mom send spies?
Like, yeah, she says her friends would be there. Like,
that's funny.
Those are good times, man.
I bet, dude. Just like, my friend saw you DJing at the club. Oh, brutal.
But yeah, like, my mom and dad's friends, at the club, spying
Yeah.
on me.
Yeah, that's great, dude.
I think like at Brewster's, my mom and my dad knew the owners, so I think that's why they were really pretty cool, like with me DJing there too,
Mm-hmm.
because they're like,
That's
"All right,"
cool.
you know.
Uh-huh. So, I mean, it's like you were there, but you had a safety net.
I had a safety net.
I mean,
yeah.
people were looking out for you, so.
A funny story too is, man, is right before, like 3 months before I turned 21,
Mm-hmm.
they told me I couldn't DJ at the club no more. Like the way that it was working with me, as you know, the paperwork didn't work out anymore.
Yeah.
And so they had to let go of me, and I was like, shit. I was like, man, what am I going to
Shit,
do?
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I'm like, I
man.
don't turn 21 for another 3 months,
Uh-huh.
you know? And so I couldn't get into the bar no more, like nothing. Like, they were like, yeah, it's not working out, man. Like, we can't cover you anymore. Like, everything changed. So I remember waiting those 3 months, like, trying to find a spot to DJ. And I was still doing Sauce and Raw at times, but, you know, even management changed back then. DJs were in rotation now, and, like, so it's hard to get a consistent spot, too.
Yeah, definitely. Dang. So
But I held it, but when I get a gig, I'll hold it down, though.
Yeah, for sure. So what'd you do those 3 months? You just
grinding.
Yeah.
Just grinding.
Dang, man, that's rough. So, this being the Red and Green report, actually, Soy got away without answering this question. So, Soy, I'm gonna have to get you back. But you know, here in New Mexico, we have the red and green chili. Do you have a preference of what kind of chili you like?
It really depends.
Everybody says that.
It
So
really depends.
yeah,
It
man.
depends on the meal. It depends on the meal.
Nah, definitely. I agree.
If I had like, I don't know, man. That's a good question. Because I like red chili on certain things, like my potatoes. But then again, I like green chili.
Yeah.
On like my eggs and burritos and stuff like that.
See, I like.
Depends on the meal, though.
Yeah, it does. So, like, I think chicken like just goes better with green.
Yeah.
And I think beef, red meat, just goes better with red.
Yeah, I think so.
And then sometimes I like going Christmas, sometimes not. I've been ridiculed for going Christmas on my breakfast burritos. And like people are like, yo, it should be red. And you should just have red chili on there. I have a good friend, Kelly. And she's like, dude, why do you get Christmas on your burritos? It should be red.
You ever get looked at? Like, I remember one time going to a restaurant, and they're like, red, green, or Christmas? And I'll be like, Christmas. Oh, you're from Santa Fe, huh? I'm like, no, man, I'm born and raised here.
Yeah, you just be like, fuck you, dog. I like both chili on my shit.
What's wrong with that? I want to eat.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes though, man, like you just get into that red chili mood, or you get into that green chili mood, and boom. I don't think, there are certain dishes. Like, I love green chili stew, but I also love pozole. You know what I mean? And,
I love pozole. I eat menudo, too. I kill menudo.
Bro, I can't do it, dude.
You can't?
I can't do it.
A lot of people don't, man.
Actually, Omega used to make fun of me. He's like, what do you mean you can't? What do you mean you don't eat menudo, dog? And, like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I wish I could, actually, because it smells delicious.
You wouldn't even try it?
I've tried it several times, and I just
You're just like, I can't go for it.
I can't go for it, man. Pozole though, yes. Like I'll eat all the pozole every day. But do you have a favorite spot here in town that you like to go to?
For both.
For New Mexican food, just in general.
Oh man, there's so many though.
Yeah, there are.
So I mean, because I like to go. Like Modelo's like one of them. Of course.
Yeah, man.
But then again, I like to go get menudo like at Filiberto's.
Okay. You know what?
Because they have big ass bowls of it. That's
why.
why.
They do.
Because I'll even go to Garcia's. Garcia's really good. But I go to then I'll go to Filiberto's, and then like they'll serve you a big old bowl.
You know,
one time Omega's making fun. He's like, went to Filiberto's, and we get this big old bowl of menudo, right? But it was like, he's like, bro, check out your bowl. And it was a ramen bowl.
Oh,
it was like, it had like, like the Chinese characters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they were serving menudo in that.
That's funny, dude.
So as far as music, were you always into like East Coast?
Me?
Yeah.
Because
I know like a lot of the music list is based on like East Coast.
Yeah. So I started. My brother brought home a Naughty by Nature not 1993, with Hip Hop Hooray on it, and Black Sunday.
Dope.
He brought those albums home one day. So I had Naughty by Nature, and then I had the Cypress Hill album. And I thought Cypress Hill was from New York. Because at the time, I was like, everybody's from New York that does music.
What was some of the early artists you were listening to?
So Cypress, Naughty by, Outkast, Nas. Remember that group, Illegal?
Illegal?
They were 2 kids, Malik and Jamal. They had a group called Illegal. And I think Malik, he was on Warren G's album.
Oh, yeah.
And then Jamal had that, who the fuck wanna see Jamal? I fade Jamal. Yeah.
Because remember on Warren G, he'd have Malik feature on a few tracks.
Yeah, he had Malik on a few tracks. But Malik and Jamal had a crew called Illegal.
Oh, okay.
And they had an album, and it was all red, the cover, and then it just said Illegal on it. And that was dope. Let me think. Outkast, Goody Mob.
I like Goody Mob, man.
Funk Dubious. Like Soul Assassin straight up. Like,
oh, okay, yeah.
You know, House of Pain, Funk Dubious, Cypress Hill, Alchemist.
Did you get into who's associated with them too, like Psycho Realm and all that?
Psycho Realm, yeah, dude. So my brother is probably the biggest Cypress Hill fan that I know. And when Psycho Realm was coming out, he was like, dude, Be Real's in this new group. It's called Psycho Realm. And we got to get the music. So my brother bought the CD and the tape. And we would kind of trade off because we had a cassette player and a CD player, one of those Discmans. So like, oh, you get the tape and I get the CD, and oh, now I get the tape and you. Yeah, we would just go back and forth trading. But Psycho Realm was dope. Man, who else? Wu-Tang, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, Enter the 36 Chambers was kind of like,
my first,
whoa.
Yeah, like my first, like one of my first like cassette tapes or even CDs was like Bone Thugs and Harmony. But I'm more West Coast influenced.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I love like G-Funk and like
I mean
straight gangster shit.
Yeah, we had all the Death Row albums too. I thought Above the Rim was an amazing soundtrack.
I got into when I was getting into East Coast stuff or even just like deep, not necessarily East Coast, but just straight like underground shit.
Yeah.
It was more of like Grouch, 2Max.
Okay.
Like the Rhymesters, like all them.
For sure. Actually, LA Underground, opened me up to a bunch of music that I was like, who the fuck is this? Like Atmosphere. Like I would have never bought an Atmosphere album.
I'm not an Atmosphere fan.
No.
I know a lot of people hate on me for that. But
well, he's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And I get that.
And I love a lot of people, but Atmosphere, I think I just got played out on Atmosphere. Like,
yeah.
Because, like so many people are all on Atmosphere. Like every girlfriend that I dated, like bumped Atmosphere.
Oh my God, Atmosphere! Yeah, I know what you mean, dude.
And we had to go to all the concerts and all this shit. And it's like, damn,
like man, I fucking hate Atmosphere.
I'm tired of this guy already.
That's funny, man. But yeah, LA Underground put me onto a lot. Like One Below, because Ken put me onto One Below.
Like Binary Star.
Binary Star. Let's see, dude. But you know what, man? I miss all the mixtapes. All the DJ mixtapes.
Remember, like when LA Underground used to sell all those mixtapes.
All the Tony Touch.
Yeah, Tony Touch, DJ Juicy.
Yeah.
All the Rectangle
yeah,
mixtapes.
DJ Rectangle, bro. Fuck. I had all those tapes, and I don't know where they are. I think my mom just threw them away. But like, Mom, where are my tapes? She's like, oh, John, you have them. Yeah. No, I don't. I would know if I did. Yeah, but... And then I go on eBay to look them up, and they're so expensive. Dude.
Right?
They're like $30. And I had them. I bought them for like 10 or 5 at the time. And now they're...
I think they were like 10, yeah. 10
yeah. Yeah, that's what's up, man. But,
now you have to stream all these mixtapes.
Yeah, dude. And people tell me that, and I'm like, no, I don't want to stream them. I want to put them in a tape player.
That's the thing that was cool, because you could take it anywhere with you. Like,
yeah.
I mean, streaming. I mean, of course, you could listen to it on your phone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But isn't it nice to, like, bump it in your car?
Oh,
like,
dude, hell
just like that old school feeling, just throwing in the tape.
Yeah, throw in the tape, click,
yeah,
rewind it. Yeah. Just let it play, dude. And, I like having my
same thing.
copies.
Sometimes, like, even VHSs. I still like to play VHS.
Damn,
VHS
dude.
sometimes.
You know what's funny? DVDs are the new VHS, bro.
That's sad.
I heard kids in the store the other day at Smith's. They're like, "Mom, what are those?" She's like, "Oh, those are DVDs." "Oh, can we get some?" "Nah, we don't need them anymore." It's just like, whoa. Because I remember when DVDs came out.
Yeah.
And we were like, VHS is over. And now DVDs are over.
But there's some classics on VHSs, man.
Yeah, there are.
I have some that you can't find anywhere. Like,
yeah.
even like the old hip hop. Like, I have like old DJ like battles and stuff like that. B-boy battles that are on VHS.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to have those too. Like I had Battle of the Year. I had a few Battle of the Years.
Dude, those Battle of the Years are super rare and expensive right now.
I need to go on. Dude, I'm about to waste some money today. Like go on eBay.
Look what I just started here.
Yeah, I know. It's like everybody come over. We're gonna watch Battle of the Year 2001.
Those are badass.
Yeah, they are, dude. I had a good buddy, Andrew, who had a bunch of those tapes, like graffiti tapes, b-boy tapes, whatever. And there was one where these kids in New York just went all over the city. They had like paint and like a fire extinguisher.
Oh, it just went
and they
all
were
city,
just like boom all over the place, dude. Yeah, it's like damn, paint and a fire extinguisher. Fuck. But as a DJ now, man, and I'm sure you see the young kids coming up. What advice would you give to these young DJs who are coming up and they want to do what you and a few other people in the city have done?
Just be smart, man.
Yeah.
Business wise, learn the business side.
Learn
the business side so you don't get screwed over in cash.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want to make some money, and always put the love of music first.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and kind of hold back on the ego. It's like, you know, there's a lot of kids now, you know, just bought a laptop, bought a DJ controller, and did a party and think they're just doing something.
Yeah.
And think that they're on top of the world. Just you know, and then they get on social media and like, oh man, I'm the best. I'm the best. Like, you know, it's like, no, put that back. You know, like you got to put in some work because it's one thing to go out and DJ and get all the love and all the support, but try DJing under pressure, man.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we used to crumble. Like, you know, we started off on vinyl. Imagine like, you know, those things skip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll skip or needle would, you know, bounce off the record, like anything. Like, imagine trying to come back from that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or the turntable, like the needle would just break, and you only got one turntable. Like, what are you gonna do in that? You know?
You know, I've seen cats. Remember Brickyard used to do like an open mic night.
Yeah.
And there were a few DJs that went up there with their controllers, and like the laptop would shut down. Or the program would shut down, and they would just lose it, bro. They were like, "What the fuck?" Like,
DJ
and then they would just walk off. Yeah, dude. So that's actually that's really good advice. I remember one time our beats weren't working on CD or mini. We used to play them on mini disc, and we had to go off instrumentals. You know what I mean?
One time, here's a story on that. Just like little side story. But I opened up for T.I. It was his first time coming here to perform. And then they're like, all right, here's the CD player. Here's his instrumentals. You're going to play his instrumentals. I'm like, shit. I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I was playing straight off of vinyl at that time, too.
Yeah.
This was probably back like 2004.
Yeah.
And then so his stage manager or whoever, his road manager, gives me the CD with the instrumentals. We start the show. He's jumping on stage. All his homies are there jumping. CD skipping.
Oh.
And this dude's calling me out. Like, what the fuck? What's up with this DJ? This fucking DJ. You know what I mean?
Damn.
And then, let's start it over again. We put in T-shirts, everything we can to you know, for the vibration so it doesn't skip. We did everything we could. And then again, we started, and they're jumping around, still skipping. What the fuck? And he's calling me out, man, these guys, Albuquerque DJs and your sound guys suck, all this shit. He's putting us to shame, right? Take out the CD, it was scratched like fuck.
Yeah.
And I showed him, so I took out the CD, showed him, like, hey, it's scratched up, dude.
Yeah.
And then I even threw the CD. I was pissed off. I even threw it. And then they eventually brought me another CD with the tracks on it. and then continued with the show. But it's just like fuck to be that young and like one of my biggest concerts and to be like put on the spot like that. Like,
damn, bro.
You know, everybody looking at you like thinking it's my fault.
It's like, nah, man, T.I., look at your CD, bro.
Like you wouldn't get away with that shit now, man. Like, come on.
Yeah, definitely. Damn.
It's like a CD. It's not even like a DAT machine. It's like
That's an ill story, man. Shit, dude. Like I can imagine. Like fuck. Dude, yeah, that's a good story.
When we were younger, so on Omega's podcast, you hear him talk about packing a Honda Civic full of speakers, like how it was like in house. But that was my Honda Civic.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we had a gig in Bernalillo, right? And we were running late because we were just trying to find a room to fit everything in. So we were like running behind. And so we were driving to Bernalillo to do a graduation party. I get a blowout. And I'm like, damn. It's like, we got to be at the spot in 30 minutes. Like, shit. So we had to take everything out of the trunk, out of the car, and like, and all these cars are like passing. We got speakers out. And he changed that tire in like freaking 2 minutes.
Did he? Damn.
And then we went, did our gig, and found like a tire shop, and got a new tire, and then drove back, and it's like our money just went into the tire. Like,
yeah. Oh, brutal. That's a good one, man. But yeah, that's good advice. Like DJing under pressure.
Yeah, I mean, because people crack it, man. Yeah, like, it's all about networking too, man. And like if you want to get gigs, network, get with the right people, maintain, and then you want to maintain a good relationship with these promoters and
definitely
the club owners, promoters. You know what I mean?
That's,
because your skills will sell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, maintaining good relationships. I've seen people blow up at people, and it's like, well, they're never coming here again.
Exactly.
You just, you burnt a bridge, and you don't want to burn a bridge unless you really have to. So, maintaining good relationships and just being humble.
Yeah, because I never came off as like I'm the best DJ, but I put in so much work.
Yeah, the work speaks for itself.
Yeah, people recognize it. They're like, it's cool to see people, and they're like, oh man, you're still DJing? I heard you on the radio, and when are you playing next? And it's like, it's cool, like you're still doing it after all these years.
Yeah, for sure.
And then it's tough because like as a, for me, I'm kind of like, I want to say an older DJ, but I'm kind of like a veteran in a way.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Because I started off like in bars at 17 years old, so. You know what I mean? So I've been doing it for a long time, but to have to adapt to all this music and that's hard too because it's a lot of garbage now.
Yeah, there's a lot of garbage, and then music's always changing.
Yeah, and sometimes some good stuff though. Like when all the reggaeton like came out again, I'm like, oh shit, that's dope. the women love this stuff. So
Yeah.
And then you got all this like new rap, and I'm like, God. And my son likes it, and after you hear.
That's great. Yeah, I hear it too, man. In the classroom, the kids play it. Like, check this out. I'm like, oh, do you even know what they're saying right now?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I have no idea what they're saying.
But then again, I show my son some cool stuff. My son likes DOS effects.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I'm like, that's cool. Yeah, at least like something cool, like some old school shit.
And a lot of my kids too, their parents play like, you can tell they play, Dr. Dre, Eazy-E.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, Mr. P, what's a 6'4"? I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, cruising down the street, my 6'4". I'm like, oh, it's a car.
Even like, I showed did you ever see that video of that dance video that was going on Facebook? People were like, sharing it. Like I showed my son how I was like, that's how we used to dress. That's how like it was like at these teen dances. And my son's like, what? All this baggy stuff? Why you guys wear all this baggy stuff? That looks stupid. And we're like, oh, your guys' little tight pants, skinny jeans? That's stupid.
That's stupid. Yeah. That's great, dude.
You guys coloring your hair? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's yeah, the baggy clothes, man. The shit. Baggy Dickies, baggy Ben Davis.
I had them all, man. I had biggies. Because I used to work at the mall. All through high school, I worked at the mall. I had like 2-3 jobs at the mall.
Oh, wow.
So I used to work at Gadzooks. Remember that store?
Yep.
It was across from Mr. Rags.
Yep. Mr. Rag. I remember Mr.
I'd go in and see. That's how I met casket in them too.
Oh, really? Okay. That's what's up.
That's why I think that was the first time I ever seen like I remember like Ntox was DJing like in the front window.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude. Man, I miss those days.
And so like when I saw them having DJs, I told my boss, I was like, "Hey, I'm a DJ. Let's put me in the store."
Uh-huh.
And so we would do it for like special occasions.
Uh-huh. And I remember Terry's. Remember Terry's?
Yeah.
The store. They had DJ in there. And then there was another store on San Mateo, and I think it was in that same little building as the record store. They had it was a clothing store. They had a DJ in there as well. But I forget the name of that store. But Terry's I remember they would bring in a DJ every once in a while. Dude.
That's dope.
Yeah, man. Well, man, I think on that note we'll end it, but I would like to have you come back.
I'm gonna come back with clout.
Come back with clout.
And we'll have some more stuff.
And I need to figure out, because I can hook up more microphones to this, and we'll have we'll get clout some Bud Light.
Yeah, I'm cool with my coffee here.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But we'll have you guys come back, and I want to get Shakedown in here. I talked to Shakedown already; he's down.
Yeah, man.
I need to get Ntox in here. I want to get just some more cats to come in and rep, but. Thanks for coming through, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah,
definitely. It's dope that you're doing this in general, dude.
Hey, man. I like doing it. It's fun.
A lot of people don't know about certain artists and how we came up and everything like that.
Yeah,
so
we need
this
to
gives a good window for the people, all the listeners. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we need to just get people's histories down, and I'm so thankful that Omega came in and gave his, oral history before.
Yeah. I mean, like, all that stuff was true. I was there for all that stuff. Like, all the stuff that you talked about.
Yeah.
Because I've known him for all those years, man, and sharing all those memories and all those times, and the way that stuff went down.
Definitely.
Like, I was there for some.
You were there for most of it. Dude.
For most of it.
Well, man, we'll get you and Clout back in here, and we'll have a jam session. We'll continue the conversation, but really appreciate it, man. And
all right, man. Word up. Yeah, thank you, man.
Thank you for coming through.
All right, cool.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.